Pushing the cancel culture, you've been living it. You've been on the receiving end of it for years and years and years. That's real. And Democrats need to own up to that. They've got to mature about that.
And those aren't the only times that we found that he used it. He also used it a lot on social media. Look at a few of these right here. You see there, that is a lot of use of Latinx by him for somebody who said that nobody in his office has ever used that.
It was unexpected to see Gavin Newsom speak in a way that sounded unusually straightforward. Longtime viewers of this channel know his record has often been questioned, particularly around California's handling of wildfires. That's why a recently circulating clip showing him openly recognizing uncomfortable realities surprised many people. The tone felt noticeably different from his usual approach. Whether this moment reflects genuine reflection or calculated messaging, it clearly sparked widespread interest and deserves closer examination.
Fetterman was in the news today. He said, if we're talking about the Democratic Party, he said, if we don't get our shit together, we're going to be a permanent minority.
I agree.
And I see you're doing something about it. I applaud it. I think it's great. You've got this podcast. You're talking to people. You know, it's amazing to me that even that is controversial to some people. They call it platforming. If you talk to someone you don't agree with.
Yeah.
I feel like this country is divided into owners and healers. People think you can own the other side.
During the conversation, even Bill Maher appeared briefly taken aback. When Newsom agreed that the Democratic Party is facing real difficulties, the reaction in the room was telling. It's rare for California's governor to publicly acknowledge his party's struggles. Known for carefully controlled messaging, Newsom typically avoids such concessions. This time, however, he didn't dodge the point, which made the moment stand out in an era where political admissions are increasingly rare.
Newsom owned DeSantis.
Yeah.
DeSantis destroyed Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
Or people who want to talk and heal. And I feel like the next president's going to be, at least if it comes from this party, the Democratic Party, someone who wants to talk and heal. And I feel like we're doing that.
Attention has also turned to Newsom's decision to launch a podcast. Supporters frame it as an effort to encourage open discussion and show a more thoughtful side of his leadership. Skeptics, however, view it as a strategic move, possibly laying groundwork for a future presidential campaign. California has dealt with significant challenges under his leadership, including homelessness, business exits, wildfire crises, and energy pressures. A podcast offers a direct line to a national audience and may help reshape how he is perceived beyond the state.
It's been interesting, the reaction to the podcast. I mean, we had some controversial figures on, I'll acknowledge that, and Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, and some others. But you're right. I mean, this idea that we can't even have a conversation with the other side.
You have to. They won.
Thank you. That's it. Bottom line. And by the way, or the notion we just have to continue to talk to ourselves or we're in the same damn echo chamber. These guys are crushing us. The Democratic brand is toxic right now.
One of the most widely discussed moments came when Newsom admitted that certain positions within the Democratic Party no longer resonate with many voters. Coming from a high-profile Democratic governor, that statement carried weight. Critics argue that governance in states like California has fueled voter dissatisfaction, while defenders insist these issues are deeply rooted and take time to resolve. Regardless of perspective, his acknowledgement reignited debate about whether meaningful reform can come from within the party.
Watermark 2 weeks ago, and that was a CNN poll at 29% favorability. It's dropped in the NBC poll down to 27%. It's one thing to make noise, but you also have to make sense. And I think with this podcast and having the opportunity to dialogue with people I disagree with, it's an opportunity to try to find common ground and not take cheap shots. I'm not looking to put a spoke in the wheel of their, or at least a crowbar in the spokes of their wheel to trip them up, to your point. And I think it's important. Democrats, we tend to be a little more judgmental than we should be.
Another point that caught attention was how comfortably Newsom referenced his podcast during the discussion. Some interpreted it as subtle self-marketing, while others saw it as simply pointing viewers toward another forum for conversation. There was also speculation that his remarks unintentionally highlighted contrasts with figures such as Kamala Harris, who has faced criticism over communication style. Intentional or not, it reflected growing competition among Democratic leaders as future elections approach.
Just 2 weeks ago, here's what he said about it.
By the way, not one person ever in my office has ever used the word Latinx.
So can we finally put that to bed?
Yeah,
we agree?
Where did that even
No more Latinx, everybody.
Well, I just didn't even know where it came from. I'm like, what are people talking about?
But there was a person who used Latinx. It was actually a really important person. It was him.
I hope we can really paint a picture in terms of our consciousness of how impactful this has been on the Latinx community. The Latinx and Black communities. You've got politicians that are banning not assault rifles, but the word Latinx. They're not even serious.
Any conversation about accountability inevitably circles back to California itself. During Newsom's tenure, the state has struggled with housing affordability, homelessness, tax debates, and concerns over crime. Supporters argue these problems predate his administration and are structurally complex. Critics counter that policy choices have intensified them. When national democratic setbacks are discussed, it's fair to question how state-level leadership influences the party's broader image.
And those aren't the only times that we found that he used it. He also used it a lot on social media. Look at a few of these right here. You see there, that is a lot of use of Latinx by him for somebody who said that nobody in his office has ever used that.
For many viewers, the most surprising element wasn't the content of Newsom's remarks. It was the fact that he made them at all. He has built a reputation around confidence and polished delivery. Even limited acknowledgement of party shortcomings felt out of character to some. Californians experience the real-world effects of policy decisions daily, which strongly shapes how such statements are interpreted. Whether this signals a lasting change in tone or a temporary adjustment remains uncertain.
LA yesterday with my friend Tavis Smiley. I'm an investor and a supporter of that station. And he said, who do you want for running president? I mentioned, I think you'd be good at the job. Not this year, we know. No, I know. But he said, I don't think he could win. I don't think he could win. He's too progressive coming from this state and what he's done in this state to win in any.
Credit is also due to Bill Maher for creating an environment where direct political exchanges can occur. His show is known for challenging guests, rather than offering comfortable platforms. That reputation often makes political figures cautious about appearing, but it also allows moments of candor to surface. When interviews aren't scripted for safety, unexpected honesty can emerge. 9. Looking forward, speculation about a potential presidential bid continues to grow. Newsom's national visibility has increased, along with scrutiny of his record in California. Supporters emphasize the state's economic influence, innovation, and climate leadership. Critics focus on cost of living pressures, public safety concerns, and business migration. National success will depend on how effectively a candidate reconciles these competing narratives. One candid moment doesn't define a political career, but it can shape how that career is viewed in the years ahead.